In 1981, a team of astronomers was mapping a section of the universe. Routine work. They expected to find what they always found. Galaxies scattered across space the way stars scatter across a night sky. Instead, they found nothing. A region of space so empty, so vast, so complete in its absence, that they assumed the instruments were broken. They checked the equipment. They ran the numbers again. The instruments were fine. The numbers were correct. There was simply nothing there. 330 million light-years of space, and almost no galaxies inside it. They had found a hole in the universe. And to this day, nobody has explained how it got there. The discovery happened during one of the most ambitious sky surveys ever attempted at the time. Robert Kirshner and his colleagues were mapping the large-scale structure of the universe, charting where galaxies clustered and where they thinned. When they reached the region in the direction of the constellation Boötes, they expected a gradual thinning, perhaps a modest underdensity, the kind that appears regularly across the cosmic web. What they found instead was a wall of absence, a boundary, and behind that boundary almost nothing. They called it the Boötes void. It became almost immediately one of the most puzzling structures ever detected in the observable universe. To understand why this discovery disturbed cosmologists so deeply, you first need to understand how the universe is structured. At large scales, matter in the universe is not evenly distributed. It forms a cosmic web, an enormous network of filaments, sheets, and nodes, with galaxies clustering along those filaments like droplets on a spider's web. Between the filaments are voids, empty regions of space where galaxies are sparse and gravity has pulled matter away over billions of years. These voids are normal. They are expected. They appear in every major cosmological simulation. The universe is full of them. But there are rules about how large a void can be. There are limits to how much emptiness can form in a universe that has only existed for 13.8 billion years, and the Boötes void violates those limits. Here is the first thing that breaks every model. The Boötes void is approximately 330 million light-years across. To put that number in context, the entire Milky Way galaxy, the one you live in with its 400 billion stars, is about 100,000 light-years wide. The Boötes void is 3,300 times larger than the entire Milky Way. It would take light, moving at the fastest speed anything in the universe can travel, 330 million years just to cross it. Not 330 million years to explore it, 330 million years just to cross from one side to the other. And inside that enormous region, there are only about 60 known galaxies. In a similar volume of typical space, there should be tens of thousands. The Boötes void is not a modest underdensity. It is not a quiet neighborhood. It is an almost total absence, a structure that our best models of how the universe forms say should not exist at this scale in a universe this age. If you are finding this as unsettling as I did when I first read about it, take a second, subscribe if you haven't yet, and drop a comment below with the mystery you'd most like us to cover next. Every idea gets read. Every one. Now, let's go deeper. The second layer of strangeness is what is actually inside the void. Those 60 galaxies that exist within the Boötes void are not scattered evenly through its interior. They are clustered near the edges, hugging the boundary as if reluctant to venture inward. At the very center of the void, there is almost nothing. Astronomers have looked. The observations have been repeated. The center of the Boötes void is as close to true cosmic emptiness as anything we have ever found. A few candidate galaxies have been detected deep in the interior, but they are faint, distant, and sparse in a way that makes the surrounding emptiness feel even more pronounced by contrast. This is not a void with a quiet interior. This is a void that appears by every measurement we have to be genuinely, profoundly empty, which raises a question that no cosmological model has yet fully answered. How did it form? The standard explanation is merger. According to this theory, the Boötes void is not a single void, but a cluster of smaller voids that gradually merged over billions of years, their boundaries dissolving into each other until a single enormous emptiness was left behind. This explanation is plausible. It is consistent with how void mergers work in simulation. But there is a problem. Even accounting for void mergers, the Boötes void is too large. Calculations of how quickly voids can grow in a universe governed by the physics we understand suggest that a void this size should not exist yet. The universe has not been around long enough. Gravity has not had enough time to push matter this far to the edges of such a vast region. One cosmologist, upon calculating the odds of the Botas void forming by standard processes, described the result as, to use his exact phrase, deeply uncomfortable. The numbers work, just barely, but the margin is narrow enough that some researchers believe there is something about this structure we have not yet understood. Now consider what the Buddhist void means for any civilization that might have existed near its center. If our galaxy sat at the heart of that void, everything we see when we look at the night sky would look fundamentally different. The nearest galaxy to us, the Andromeda Galaxy, is about 2.5 million light-years away. From inside the Buddhist void, the nearest galaxy would be more than 150 million light-years away. For most of human history, we believed the Milky Way was the entire universe. Astronomers only confirmed the existence of other galaxies about a century ago. A civilization inside the Botas void, looking out with even our best modern telescopes, might still believe they were alone. Not alone in the sense of no other life, alone in the sense of no other galaxies. The void would not just feel empty, it would look empty. It would be, for all practical purposes, the entire visible universe. And this is the thing that stays with you about the Botas void. It is not a mystery that threatens us, or a discovery that demands immediate action. It is something quieter than that. It is a place, a real place in our universe, that exists in a state our physics cannot fully explain. A hole in the cosmic web, 330 million light-years across, sitting there in the direction of Botas, not moving, not changing in any human time frame, offering no answers. We mapped it. We named it. We have studied it for 40 years, and it remains, as of every measurement we have ever taken, exactly as empty as the day we found it. Thank you for watching Midnight Fact Society, where curiosity meets the unexplained. New videos every week. Subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.